But we'll start with the game of the day, the match of the day, the big game, the big fixture between possibly teams that are going to meet in the semifinals. Like I said, Arsenal 3, Bayern Munich 1. And what can I say? Where can we start? Two excellent teams. I think we'll start with Bayern. The Bayern players today, they're a great side. Like I want to emphasize on it, they're a great coach side, extremely well drilled. Everyone knows what they're supposed to do, when they're supposed to do it, how they're supposed to do it. But they were outmatched in two key areas. The mistake aspect of the games, where Bayern made mistakes and Arsenal capitalized on it, and I think the lack of um, how can I say this? The lack of clear attacking power, which is we're saying that about Bayern, right? But we look at the front four that started. Gnabry, I think the kid name is Leonard, Carl or Max, Harry Kane, Olise. Assuming everyone is healthy, it'll be Musiala and Luis Diaz instead of Gnabry and Leonard, right? The guy that scored. And you clearly saw the limitation today as to the attacking threat that Bayern had. And I'm emphasizing an attacking threat today because it's Arsenal. And maybe other than Atletico Madrid 2014, maybe even Chelsea's Tuchel back five. I think Arsenal's the best defensive side that I've seen since maybe those two teams that I've mentioned. If you score a goal against them, congrats to you because they're extremely tough to break down. There's been a couple of times where most of the goals they do tend to concede is long balls over the top. I think Sunderland did that. Bayern did that today. But other than that, one-on-one defensively, set pieces, like they're excellent when it comes to defense. So they're extremely tough to break down. So without having your players to break the excellent back line, it's going to be extremely difficult. So I think that was the first aspect. Second aspect is it's been multiple games now where Michael Olise plays and the intensity is slightly higher up. We saw it last year with Barcelona in the group stages. We saw it to a certain extent during the Inter Milan tie. He actually played good against Chelsea at the Allianz, but we also saw it against PSG. And there's multiple instances where I don't want to say where the going gets tough, but when you need your key attacking players to play their best games, there's been multiple instances where he actually doesn't tend to do that. Now, I wouldn't worry too much. It's still November as of now. That's probably going to play minimum, I think, 6 more Champions League games. So there's nothing much to worry about. But it's been a pattern for the past 12 months that is definitely something that we do need to mention. Last year against Barcelona, he was non existent. During the Inter Milan tie, Bayern was so injured, but we still expected a little bit more from him. The PSG game, it was mostly the Luis Diaz and Harry Kane show and Upa show. So I think in terms of attack, Musiala and Luis Diaz will help compensate that whenever Olise does tend to feel or play the way that he tended to play in those big games. But it's definitely something to mention and something to worry about. The second thing is also Harry Kane. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Sorry. The second thing is also Harry Kane. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Um, I don't know because Harry Kane comes to pick up the ball extremely deep, which is his. He's the new quarterback. It's his style of play. But Benzema used to do that, right? But Benzema used to do it in a smart way. But you look at the Bayern build-up, and Harry Kane is almost like a third center mid, and it's like I think it's extremely taxing on the like he has the fitness to do it. He's been doing it, but it's taxing on the body. It's constant run, and a game of high intensity like this, I actually don't think that it's necessary for you to drop where Kimmich's or where the other players. Like you gotta figure out, you gotta pick your moments. And I felt like throughout the game it was constant where he was constantly dropping back to receive it, and I was a bit confused. Now, defensively, there's two people I gotta mention: Manuel Neuer and Dayo Upamecano. Neuer first goal. ¿Qué pasa? No entiendo qué pasa. I know it's Arsenal in corners, but what are you doing? And then the third goal, what are you doing? You're a club legend. You're arguably, I mean, you're the greatest keeper I've ever seen with my own eyes. You're arguably the greatest keeper of all time, but you've costed Bayern in big games, and it's a reoccurring theme. So definitely something to notice. And then Upa, the lights were bright today. You know how much I love you. I think you're like a top three center back in the world. The mistake for the third goal, and then the yellow card in the first half, which like kind of didn't allow you to play your usual physical game. It was, yeah, it was a bit, yeah. Then on the Arsenal side, man, what a side, what a team, what a coach, what a stadium. This is what UCL nights feel like. This is the physicality, the pressing, the energy, the technicality, the substitutions at the right time. You put on Calafiori. I think it was Calafiori and I don't know who came on. I think it was Calafiori, Martinelli, Calafiori, and Madueke. I don't know. It was a combination of attacker and defender. Right away, Calafiori, perfect cross, tap in, like the Declan Rice runs, the Odegaard coming on. Arsenal look legit, man. Like there's nothing that I need or can say about this team that people haven't said before. And usually when people build or look at a foundation of how a team is built, the same way I mentioned about PSG, you look at Pacho, Vitinha, and then and yeah, I think that's it. Pacho, Vitinha, and then Booz. You look at the spine, you can make the same argument for Arsenal, man. Look at the center backs. Either you pick your poison, either Gabriel Saliba, Declan Rice. Then as long as you got a Bukayo there or Odegaard there, you're secured. The way they play is just so energized, so electric, and they can play different ways. They can either break you down extremely slow, they can break you down on counters. I actually think that the way they play in Europe, especially when they play against big teams, it facilitates their style of play way more. Because in the Premier League, people tend to play extremely defensively against Arsenal, but in Europe, I mean, if you play against a Bayern, if you play against a PSG, a Madrid, they're not gonna hide who they are. They're big clubs. They're gonna try to play their games. And if you try to play your game against Arsenal, you will lose. Like it's as easy as that. You will lose if you try to play a game against Arsenal. So good luck to whoever will have to face them in Europe this year. I think they're winning the Premier League. Um, in terms of the Champions League, I think they're one of the big three teams. But there's nothing for me right now to add or any comments to make in regards to this game about Arsenal that will change anything. They're an excellent side, extremely well coached, and yeah, Gunners, yeah, it's crazy.